Oh, test, test. There we go. All right. 8-8, writing linear equations. The only equation we've learned so far is y equals mx plus b. And that tells me my slope is m and my y-intercept is b. So what you're going to see a little bit different today, a little different than the graphing, is they're going to tell you the slope. And let's say maybe they tell you it's -1/2. And then they say that the y-intercept is 2. And what they want you to do is they want you to take these two pieces of information and put it in y equals mx plus b form. And so we know that slope is m, so I'm going to always start with y equals, and instead of m, I'm going to have -1/2 and put my x. And then my y-intercept is at the end. That's a 2, which is positive, so I would put +2. So the equation for slope of -1/2 and y-intercept of 2 is y equals -1/2x plus 2. Some different looks that you might see. Maybe they tell you that the y-intercept is 0 and the slope is -6. Okay, so if I have a y-intercept of 0, that just means I will eliminate it from my equation. Slope is the number that goes in front of the x, so it's just going to be -6x. The reason I don't want to put +0 up there is because it just creates more confusion in the equation, and we'll never see +0, so it's just y equals -6x. And you might also see one that gives you a y-intercept of, let's say, 4, and then maybe the slope is 0. And so we know that we've only got one piece of information, and we're not going to put 0x because we don't ever have 0x. So really, we just have y equals +4. Okay? Now, one other variation is they may actually give you a graph, and let's say they did this. All right. And they want to know the equation of that. Well, we still have two things we have to find. We have to find the y-intercept. And let's go ahead and do that first. That's the easiest. The y-intercept is where it hits the y-axis. So that's going to hit the y-axis at 4. I'll put a little dot there. So my y-intercept is 4. Pretty simple. Now, I need to find my slope. So to find slope, I'm going to use rise over run. And I need to find another point. So I need to find a perfect intersection point, okay, where it hits a perfect junction. So I might go down to this one. And I need to ask myself, to get from those 2 points to each other, what do I need to rise and what do I need to run? Well, I'll start here at the bottom one. I'll put my pin on it. And I'm going to go up 2 and to the right 2. Okay, up 2 to the right 2. So that's a positive rise of 2 and a positive run of 2. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. So I have a y-intercept of 4 and a slope of 1, which makes my equation y equals x plus 4. Okay, so we just take off the y-intercept and then we put 2 points on there and find the slope. Okay, last thing. We're going to learn a new thing today. It is called the point slope form. And so if I have these coordinates, oh, that's awful. What happened there? Let's see. I want to go 6 and 7. Okay. It's called the point slope form, so I need 1 point, so I'll pick either one of those. I'm going to pick the 4, 6, just because it's positive. And again, point slope form, I'm going to need a slope. So to find the slope, I'm going to take the y's and subtract them, and put that over the x's and subtract them. So that's going to be 7 minus 6 all over 6 minus 4. 7 minus 6 is 1. 6 minus 4 is 2. So that gives me a slope of 1/2. Remember that m equals slope in the formula. Okay, so here's the new equation. Y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1. Okay? Now, 2 things that will never change, they will always stay the same. The y stays the same, and the x stays the same. And now I just substitute these values over here that I had. This is the x value of the 1 point that I chose. This is the y value of the 1 point that I chose. So let's substitute them in. Again, the y stays the same. And I'm going to subtract my y1, which is 6. Then I'm going to put in my slope, which is 1/2. And then the x stays the same. Just bring it down. And then my x1 is 4. So bring down the subtraction sign and the 4. Let me scroll this down a little bit. So now, according to PEMDAS, I'm going to do parentheses first. So this is distributive property. 1/2 times x is 1/2 x. And 1/2 of -4 is -2. Now I want to get the y by itself, so I'm going to add 6 to both sides. That leaves me a final equation of y equals 1/2 x plus 4. Okay, we'll work on some of these a little bit more in class tomorrow, and we will see you then.